Hello, my name is Vivian Carrington, and I have a story to tell. Some time ago, I think it was the year of 2008, I was expecting my sister to come to Florida, spend some time with her, and she did arrive. And my sister, Bonnie Brown, loved to play tennis. So we decided to go to the court. And as we were playing, I was doing pretty good there for a while. And then all of a sudden, everything turned gray on me. I'm going like, what's going on? And I felt myself passing out. At that moment, I could not play tennis any longer. And my sister and daughter came up to me and wanted to know what was wrong. My daughter took me to the fire department for them to check me out. So the fire department said, "Oh, your pressure's up too high. We have to take you to the hospital." I said, "Oh, no, I'll drive myself." He says, "Okay. You make certain that you go then. I'm really not supposed to let you go." But I was very persistent. No, I have my daughter to take me. But my feelings were not normal. I was feeling pretty bad. So I said, and my daughter said to me, "Mommy, you need to go to the hospital." Usually that's my behavior. Yeah. When I go into the hospital, I want to be rapid in and out, you know. But nevertheless, after a few days, I was released to go home. I still wasn't at my best, but I tried to play it off because my sister was visiting with me from Clovis, New Mexico. And I was glad that my daughter was with me. Because whenever I said no about my feelings about my health, my daughter always persuades me, "No, Mommy, we need to check this out." And so I'm glad that she was there with me at that time. Lo and behold, my sister goes back to Clovis, New Mexico. And I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be all right.
What happened that made you feel
My heart started acting funny. I had these palpitations without a breathe. I'm going like, oh, what's going on? This is happening again. So I had to go have myself checked out again. And each time I would be checked out from the doctor, they always said, "Well, I like to do an anaplastic to make certain that you have no blockage anywhere in your heart." And after the test, the surgery, or whatever you call it, I spoke with the doctor once again, and he said I did not have any blockages. So I said, "Okay, I'm going to live a little longer. That's all right." So I go home again, thinking things are okay, and then I continue to teach my swim classes. That's what I was doing. I was a swim coach. And I was doing okay for a while. And then I had an attack right there in the pool. So I told the kids, get out of the pool. So the parents got out of their chairs and went to the pool to get the kids out.
What happened to you?
I was feeling strange again. My chest was hurting. I could barely breathe. And I was just panting like I was totally exhausted. And I tried to shake it off. It's okay, I'll be okay. I was feeling strange again. My chest was hurting. I could barely breathe. And I was just panting like I was totally exhausted. And I tried to shake it off. It's okay, I'll be okay. I still was feeling weird, but I was smiling, trying to play it off. So after they left, I said, oh God, my chest is hurting. I can't take this any longer. So I'm back in the hospital again. The same thing I'm thinking.
But every time they did the test, they said, oh, nothing's wrong with your heart, right?
Pardon me?
Every time they did the test, didn't they say nothing's wrong with your heart?
Yeah, they said nothing wrong with your heart. And then I'm sent back home again.
Mm-hmm.
I was always over polite about everything I said or I did, because that's where I was. It's my upbringing. It's where, I was taught as a child. So I still felt the shaking. And I said, this building is shaking. I don't care what they say. There's something under the bottom here. So I stood up and I began to wobble a little bit. I was a little apprehensive about moving. And I said, wow, what's going on here? Something not right. I sat down. In about a half a minute, I felt shaking again. Lo and behold, it was me. I was shaking. I was trembling inside. At that moment, I said, something else is going wrong with me.
Is that when you went to a rheumatologist, or is that when?
I went to a dermatologist, and he took my blood work. And he came back and he said to me, oh, I hate to bring you sad news. He said, you have lupus. I said, what? He said, I suggest you see a rheumatologist. I said, oh my God. No, I think you made a mistake. He said, no, ma'am, I didn't make a mistake. So he was kind enough to give me a rheumatologist's name and telephone number. His secretary did. And set an appointment. And I went to see the rheumatologist. Mm-hmm. And he says, ma'am, you have lupus. You have the skin type lupus that affects your skin. And I said, he says, it's not like the other one that will cause the effect to destroy your organs. Mm-hmm. He said, from what we see right now.
So
but
what was going on with your skin that was different?
Well, I had these lesions, these sores and stuff was on me, and I was turning purple. Mm-hmm. My feet turned purple. Mm-hmm. And I'm going like, what is this? And so I was told that that was part of the lupus illness, for these spots and everything to come on your skin.
I remember you having like hives all over your body and
yes,
sores everywhere.
Sores in my head, sores in my ears. Oh, I had sores in my mouth. Mm-hmm. I would gargle and use Listerine. I would use peroxide. I tried everything, Why are these sores all in my mouth? And it was very uncomfortable for me. Mm-hmm. Still not eager to share with people about what was going on with my body. And my heart still was the same way. When I breathed, I could feel the pain, like someone was stepping on me or pressing against my chest. And I would change positions to, in a way, hoping that it would just go away. Sometimes it did, but most of the time it didn't.
Now the skin that you spoke of, I remember I would come visit you and you'd be itching all over your body.
Yes, that's the part I want to get to about the next stage that developed with this heart condition, the lupus. Oh man, can you imagine two combinations going on here in one body? Then the next thing developed with me was the itching and the burning. Oh my, you talking about uncomfortable. I used baby oil, didn't burn. Vaseline, helped a little bit. But it did not just completely go away.
So how was it? I mean, would you be scratching? Where would you be scratching? Or how was it for you?
It felt like ants were biting me. That's the feeling I had. And that is very uncomfortable. Can you imagine me sitting in the classroom scratching, rubbing? I couldn't scratch. I just had to rub my hand, rub my thigh, rub my feet and stuff like that, and come back up to my, rub my shoulder and rub up under my neck. So I've had several students get up and move their circle. They didn't know what was wrong with me. Mm-hmm. I guess they said, "What's wrong with this lady? What does she have?" Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So finally I just went on and told them, I said, "No, I don't have any type of disease that is contagious, but I have lupus." And I said, "My skin just feeling funny, so I'm just trying to rub it down." I said, "But it's not contagious what I have, okay? So don't be tripping." That's what I told them, don't be tripping. But I can understand how they felt, when people don't know about things, they're a little apprehensive and it seems scary to them. Mm-hmm. So I prayed and I said, "Lord, help me. This is not good. I feel like this is an attack from the enemy." And I think my daughter basically pointed it out to me more specifically. I didn't want to own up to it. She said it's an attack from the enemy. And I go like, wow.
So there's nothing wrong with you, Mom. This is a spiritual attack. You're not physically sick. This is something.
Yeah, that's what you said. It was a spiritual attack.
And I remember when I would come home on the weekends from my nursing, I'd have my books in my bag, and then on the bed or whatever, and you would have these hives all over your body.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
that's
we would
correct.
be trying to calm that down. You would be in so much misery from just itching and burning and being red, and we tried aloe vera all over your body.
Oh, did we ever? I drank the aloe vera water. I took the aloe vera and rubbed it over my skin. I was sticky.
All over your body, we tried to do that.
My whole entire body was that way. So miserable. I don't wish it on anyone. But can you imagine me going through that for 7 long years? And can you imagine me experiencing all that agony and going to college at my age? Mm-hmm. That's a whole lot for a person to deal with. And to add to that, I was so determined to receive my degree until when I would get out of the hospital even, I would go to school anyways.
Yes.
And I had oxygen. I would have oxygen in the classroom. The kids would look at me, and sometimes they would cry. And I said, stop that crying. Hush. What are you crying for? I'm fine. I'm marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous. And I said that so much until the kids would just walk by, hi, Miss Vi, and they just say it for me. Marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous. And they would laugh, and I would laugh even harder.
You were ill.
Yeah, I really was ill. But I still tried to be optimistic about everything. Not everybody can do that.
What do you
You
think
see how I did it.
Well, I do. I mean, you have a history of never giving up as an athlete.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know how to quit.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. You can say that again.
That's can be a positive thing, and then it can work against you at the same time.
Yeah.
You know. But when you went through the itching, I remember once you came to visit me and you were doing my hair. And,
That time. Oh my, I thought I was going to die. I
you
really
did not
thought
look
I
good.
was going to die. Because you had so much hair.
You were trying
It took us all night.
to do my hair.
And I
You were
tried.
determined to help me, and I said, "Mom, no, you can barely breathe. Your neck is distending."
Yes, you did
was-
say
it
that.
was- and you were just even determined because I was your daughter to
Right.
help me with my.
I
all my hair.
persevered in spite of.
And I felt so bad. I was like, "There's something going on with my mom, and I'm just learning it in school, and I gotta figure it out. I'm going to class, and I have a whole list of things that are going on with you."
Yeah,
to
I
figure
remember
out.
that. But you were so helpful. Because you would study, you would check the internet, you would ask questions from RNs, about what was going on in my body,
Mhm.
And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate your love and your
I know
concern.
you do, Mommy.
Oh gosh, yes. What can I say? And I appreciate the times that you helped me. Each time you were right there for me. In my rescue. Taking
about
care
the,
of me.
Times when I remember you lost a whole lot of weight initially. What was going on with that? I mean,
Wow, now that's another issue.
okay. You lost like what?
I went to be checked out again. It's the lupus. They're saying the same thing.
How many pounds did you lose at one time?
I lost 35 pounds. I remember standing up to the counter in class. At the library. It was at the library. And I was standing there talking to one of the girls in IT, the technical department. And all of a sudden, I felt something sliding down my body. It was my pants. My pants was falling off. I grabbed my pants. I said, anyone have a pen? Anyone have a safety pin? Not a writing pen, but a safety pin. He said, oh no, Miss Vi, we don't have a safety pin. I said, oh, I'll go find you one. I said, make sure it's a big one, like the kind you put in baby diapers. He said, I'll do the best I can. So they come back with 3 or 4 safety pins and says, what's the matter, Miss Vi? I said, I'm losing my pants. I'm just wasting away, darling. She said, Miss Vi, you were so small. You are losing weight. So I took the pin and attached my pants to I had 2 shirts on and I attached it to one shirt, went to the other side and pinned that side up, and then I took the jacket and did like that. I said, now, where were we? Are you going to finish with my computer or not? Because I got to go to class.
So you had a dramatic weight loss, and what did the doctor say that was for? I mean, did he give any reason as to why you lost so much weight so quickly like that?
Right. I had to go to another doctor.
You had like 5 different doctors. You were
Oh,
going to.
God.
They didn't know what was going
endocrinologist, a
on.
lung doctor. Oh God, I had so many.
Rheumatologist.
Finally, another doctor was recommended, and he was the one that said from his test that I had a thyroid issue.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Can you fix it?"
So that's why he said you lost so much weight.
Right.
He said that you had hypothyroidism.
That's what he said.
But what I was studying in school was that hypothyroidism makes you gain weight and hyper you lose.
Right.
So we had a conflict in
We certainly did.
diagnosis from what I was hearing him say and what he
Right.
was telling you.
But nevertheless, I did schedule for surgery.
And guess what you did? You did it. You would not go to any doctors during your semester. I remember that.
Right. That's
you would
true.
tell your doctors what?
That's true.
What would you tell your doctors? You would say you weren't going, you had to go to school?
Oh yes, I told myself I have to go to school. I can't. But you need this operation. You need to do this. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to school. You know, I'm not stopping school. I said, I'd be in and out of the hospital too much already. I'm missing too much here. I said, no, I can't do that. I said, I'll wait. But by me waiting, it kept getting worse and worse. Then all of a sudden I got these knobs, these things on my neck. I could take my hand, take my two fingers and grip hold to it. And I'm going, oh, what is this? Now what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to the point, agreed to have the surgery.
And this was between, you only agreed to it on the rush because you didn't want him in school for the next semester. So it seems like I remember you saying, okay, I'm going to hurry up and do this surgery. And what had the doctor told you that made you so insistent upon doing that surgery so quickly like that?
Well, I checked all of my test results. And they all were about the same for 5 or 6 months. But the reason why I didn't want to hesitate any longer is that the thyroid situation was so severe that the medication could not correct it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was told.
And what did the doctor tell you in addition as to what made you be fearful about not having the surgery?
I have to think about that because I'm not quite sure. Do you remember what he said? Because you were with me.
I was with you at some point, but at some point he did not say what he told you. While I was present, he said that you were going to die if you didn't have the surgery.
Oh, that's right. Those are the words he said to me. If you do not have this thyroid surgery, you are going to die. You're not going to make it.
And that's what rushed you to have.
That's what
between
rushed me.
the
That's why I made up my mind. I looked at the results from 5 or 6 months. It was about neck and neck, didn't change. And then all of a sudden it was a drastic change. It's just like the bottom fell out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me a little fearful. And I said, oh, I better go ahead and do this.
But in between semesters, so you would not miss school. Is
Right.
What your point was. Okay.
So what I'm saying is, I don't wish for you to think that I'm not in my right mind or anything like that, but school was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like if I continued to think positive about surviving or whatever, everything's going to be okay. You know?
Now the doctor had you, I remember, on 20 milligrams of prednisone from the
That is
rheumatologist.
correct, which is very high.
And it was for the chronic pain that you were feeling all over your
That's
body.
right, and the itching and the burning
Right.
and the spasms I was having.
And
And
you had
the
swollen, and your arms were crippling and swelling.
oh, sure was. Looked like I was about to have a stroke. look like I'm having a stroke because I'd be all twisted up and then my thumb would go in like that and it'd stay like that all day long. I could feel the pain, so I kept putting ice on it.
And
And
then
at
you
night,
had someone to write, help you in school.
oh
You went to
yeah,
school anyway like
I
that.
went to school anyway, all crippled up. And I would ask the kids, I said, listen, I can't write today, or I can't type on the computer today. Would you do me a favor and take notes for me? So I became a part of the handicap department in order to get a note taker to help me get through college.
Because sometimes you couldn't write.
Oh, I couldn't write. I couldn't type. And that's how I survived staying in college, because I had help.
Thank you.
And I'll tell anyone, when you get a certain age and you become ill, you need a whole lot of help. And I would say to people when they did help me, don't pity me. It's just a phase I'm going through, but I'm going to get through this. I was always saying something positive. I was always saying I had hope. And I did it so much until people began to notice me. I was so popular on the campus. I guess I was. I bet I said it too loud because I don't know who's listening. But they made me feel welcome. They made me feel warm. They made me feel like we understand. Even if they didn't, and most of the people I know, they didn't. Because like I said, people always fear the unknown. And if in society, if things don't go like clockwork the way they should go, it always makes people uncomfortable. And I'm glad I've learned to live in society to understand that. Because a lot of people don't get it. I get it.
You get it.
I get it. Loud and clear.
Now back to the 20 milligrams you were on. The thyroid doctor wanted to do surgery, and you were on 20 milligrams of prednisone because of the chronic itching and
That is correct.
the aching and the inflammation and all that. They call that the miracle drug. And
Yes.
so, didn't you have some kind of problem sleeping because it was 20 milligrams of prednisone? That puts you where you.
Of course
can't
I didn't sleep. Who's going to sleep with 20 milligrams of prednisone?
So
I
you
couldn't
weren't
sleep
sleeping.
day or night. And I went to school 7 days a week.
So you weren't sleeping for weeks.
Months.
Oh gosh.
And I would go to school at 1 o'clock, because I went to Hamilton Hope School. Classes are held at night, in the evenings and at night. But I would go at 1, make certain they check my computer and IT department. Or maybe I would go to TJ's department. They have someone to check my paper before I went to class at 4 o'clock. And then I would go to the library and stay there till midnight.
Yes, I know. I remember coming to the park
Yeah.
and seeing you. You looked exhausted, and you were just so determined that I've got to get my assignment in.
Exactly.
No
That's
matter
it.
what you did.
Oh yeah. Well, I really was fanatical about that schoolwork.
Yes.
And people might not understand. They may not understand why I did what I did. And sometimes I ask myself that same question. Why were you so persistent? You got to finish college. Why is it? You had health issues going on, and that did not make any sense. Why are you trying to do that? Sometimes I know, and sometimes I don't. But it's the way I felt at that time, so what can I say? I just persevered through the pain, through the suffering. A lot of times I would sit in class and I'd be in so much pain, I be saying to myself, I be glad when this class is over because I've had enough. I got to go back in the hospital, but I don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and one day I went to my counselor, and I told her, I said, I can't continue with this biology class. She said, you only have 1 month, just 1 month to go, Miss Vi, and you'd be done with it. You know something? I tried, but I had an attack so bad, my heart was hurting me so badly until I wanted to scream. And I was itching so bad from the lupus. I'm saying, here I got a combination of something. It seemed like I'm about to go out of my mind. And then I said, oh no, I'm not going out of my mind. I'm going to the hospital again.
I remember you couldn't even walk sometimes from the bed to the bathroom because you were in so much, you'd be limping and you didn't want anybody to help you. And I remember you be in the car, you rock back and forth trying to get out. It took you sometimes 5-10 minutes to walk from your bedroom to the car or to get out of the car, but you didn't want anybody to help you.
That's my personality.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personality. I don't know. I've always been tough. I've always thought that tomorrow's coming. Tomorrow will be a better day. My day's not so good right now, but I'm looking for a better day.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help me push.
How about the sun will come out tomorrow?
Yeah, the sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow.
There'll be sun.
Yeah.
So back to you had chronic insomnia because the prednisone was putting you, and you would not stop going to school. So you would be up all night and still go to school completely exhausted. Your body cannot heal because it's so exhausted.
Right.
You'd be itching all the time, day and night, non-stop.
All in my head. Ooh, you talking about my scalp be itching?
Oh.
And I had the little lesions in there, and I had to keep putting peroxide on it because I didn't want to get it in my face and my eyes.
Yeah, I remember.
That's miserable.
I remember.
So I wore a wig.
Yeah.
Because
you lost all your hair.
Huh?
You had really thick.
I did.
hair.
I lost my hair. I lost my
all your
pretty hair. It was so pretty and white.
And
Thick.
Yeah.
Pretty and white.
I know you miss your hair.
Yeah, I do miss my hair because it was different. I used to have people stop me, male and female. Oh, ma'am, you got the prettiest hair. I said, thank you. And I would get that comment. I would receive that comment anytime I went someplace. Somebody was always stopping me.
So you
Oh, lady, you got some beautiful hair. I don't have that now. I'm sitting up here with a wig on my head.
So when that left, how did that make you feel about yourself when your health?
I lost self-esteem about my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost self-esteem about my looks.
Because they changed so definitely.
Because it changed. I don't look the same. And I know that. And I've had a problem with that. But the last semester, I made up my mind that I was not going to worry about how I looked or how much weight I had lost. I had to graduate from Rollins College and get my degree. That was on my mind. I was not going to allow my relatives, my friends, I wasn't going to allow my husband or nobody to get under my skin. I said, this semester, I've got to be cool. And believe you me, inside, I was cool. I didn't care about nothing else but getting through school.
Now, when you had that rush to get the thyroid surgery, I remember you could not eat.
Oh, yeah.
You had difficulty swallowing.
I did. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes.
And I think that's why I'm still hoarse. I had problems trying to swallow
Yeah, I couldn't get you to swallow anything, and they wanted to release you.
from the hospital. But you
Right.
told them my mother not going anywhere until she's able to swallow. Now that was really fearful. That was another stage in my life where I panicked because I couldn't swallow.
And you felt like you weren't gonna. Did you feel like? I remember you saying that you felt like you weren't gonna make it.
Yeah, I did. I said, well, Lord, I guess you getting ready to call me on in now.
I could see it in your eyes. You were.
And you know what? I give up. I had given up. I says, okay, this is the time.
I saw it. Yeah.
And I just sat there.
I remember that. Your eyes were glassy, and you were looking
One direction, wouldn't bat my eyes, just looking,
I said, Mom,
staring.
Mom.
Yeah, you kept calling me. I said,
And you would turn your head, you know.
right.
And I remember the doctor called me outside your room, and he said, you have to get her to walk and to breathe through that spirometer, or she's gonna die. Because I don't like to do surgeries on people that's on 20 milligrams of prednisone. I said,
Oh,
well,
God.
then why did you do the surgery?
Right.
So he had a totally different agenda as far as lining his pocket, as far as I was concerned. But that was an experience where you felt like giving up because you couldn't swallow. And I said, Mom, you gotta try. You said, I'm trying. I said, try harder.
Yeah, you were persistent. And I was trying. I was trying to give it all I could give. It wouldn't get there. It would not come right away, you know. And like I said, at that moment, I had accepted the fact if that's the way I was going to go, I was ready. And that's the first time I ever felt like that in my life, entire life. How old was I, 75 then, or 74?
Yeah, I remember
75?
there was another time that when you were in chronic pain and I was in school, you weren't telling me everything. And you said that you were lying in bed and you said, either heal me or kill me.
I sure did. I said those words. I told the Lord, I said, let's have a conversation. I'm going to talk to you. I want to talk to you and ask, you going to heal my body or not? Now, if you're not going to heal me, just kill me. Just take me on out. Because I can't deal with this pain anymore. The itching and the burning. And not being able to sleep. I did say that.
And you're a person that I've noticed can tolerate a lot of pain. So it must have been pretty unbearable.
That's true.
For you to do that.
It had to be unbearable to be itching and burning and feel like a million ants attacking your body.
All over.
All over. My scalp, my face, inside my ears, you know, all over my body, in the palm of my hand.
Wow.
That is miserable.
And
Can you
I
imagine?
think it really affects your attention and focus, I'm sure.
Oh, it does. Because you be in and out, in and out. I be, you know, sitting at the computer and I'm doing some work and all of a sudden everything goes completely blank.
Where you start itching and you're so irritated.
Right.
By itching,
And by the time I get back to the lesson, I'm trying to figure out what did I type, you know. And I look at it and I said, that does not make sense.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough ordeal.
I remember too, a lot of times you would have trouble with your digestion and keeping things down. And,
Oh gosh, yeah, that was all part of it.
yeah.
Nexium, and Nexium was not working.
And sometimes you'd be in a restaurant and things would happen.
Yeah, things would be happening if I ate food. I always brought it up. I be lying down in bed, think I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. No. I got a trash can right there. I had to turn over. That go with my breakfast. That go with my lunch. My dinner came up too. Then I got to get up and take the bag and tie it up and take it outside to dump it so it won't smell in my room. Then I got to brush my teeth again, use mouthwash, and gargle with peroxide. Oh man, you talking about a lot of work. And you have more than one issue going on in your body. It's a lot of work to stay clean and keep a sane mind. And it's amazing. By the grace of God that I was able to survive 7 years in college with all that stuff going on with my body, you know.
I think there was some other stuff going on too. Some GI stuff.
What?
Some GI, gastrical stuff.
Oh yes,
bowels. Bowels.
Oh God, I didn't want to talk about it. You want me to talk about that?
Yes, we do. I remember being in Walmart one time, and I didn't have time to go in and ask the clerk, could I get something to help you? I went and got it, brought it to the bathroom, because you were having an issue.
Right. I had lots of issues like that. And I can remember being at school as well. And I couldn't hold my bowels. I couldn't control it. And I would have to run to the bathroom and take my underwear off, wash them, get a paper towel, try to dry them, put them back on. I'm still wet, a little wet. So I can prepare myself to get back to class.
So you still.
And so after I found out I had that problem, I had to buy Depends. I said, I get the Depends. Then I won't have to be embarrassed.
Right.
But can you imagine going a whole semester doing something like that?
Yes.
I washed all the time. I took washcloths to class, to school with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a lot. But I was determined to graduate.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It's a lot
To consider, and it's just amazing I'm sitting here still in my right mind.
Yes. I remember one time your energy level was really low. That's when the time when you needed the oxygen was your hemoglobin went down to 7.
Yes, that was the time you was with me, and the doctor released me to go home, knowing the report said that.
Now he said, I told the doctor, I said, this is not my mother. He was thinking you were 70 something years old, that was just normal. But 7 hemoglobin is not normal, first of all. And I said, air, breathing, and circulation are the first things you check in medical school. You're looking for a lawsuit. And I think when I said it like that, it got his attention that he needed to get on his ball. So he rushed you to the hospital, and I remember
Right. And I had to have 2 pounds of blood.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I remember that. I definitely remember that.
Right. And I remember the nurse. What did she say to you when you left? Because your hands were white.
Yeah, they was completely white, just like somebody in the morgue.
Yeah.
And the day that I was being dismissed, the nurse said to me, Miss Carrington, you stay pink now. And I said, at the time I didn't get it. So I asked my daughter when we got home, I said, what did that nurse mean when she told me to stay pink? She said, Mama, you was about white as a sheet when you first went there. And you got a little color in your skin. That's why she told you to stay pink. I said, wow, that's what she meant.
And I remember I was diligently looking for a way to get that hemoglobin up. and we used Pharaoh's tablets, and we got you some beet juice.
Sure did. Oh, that beet juice was the bomb.
Yeah.
I really needed that. I said, but you know, my body really feels better.
Your hemoglobin went up to 12.4
It
in
went,
2 months.
sure did. It certainly did. I'll tell anyone that it works. And all because of you. Doing your investigating, checking on things to find out what you could do to help me be a much more healthier mom. And I really appreciate it.
I know.
I do appreciate that. And you know, I still say the same thing, and I always will say it. Had it not been for God and for you, Angie, I wouldn't be sitting here talking. I just wouldn't. And that's the way this is the way I feel. See.
Well, the way I feel is I'm just God's hands and feet.
Just like Jesus is the he is the root and we're the branches.
Yes.
But thank God for the attachment. You know?
Yes, I'm so glad we're close like that.
Yeah.
I could feel when something's going on with you, because I know you're the kind of person who won't complain. So I would call, and how are you feeling? I'm fine. I'm just fine. And I would feel this funny feeling, and I'd go there, and you would not be happy. Sometimes barely breathing. When I walk in the door, and I said, "Mom, you need to go to the hospital. Your oxygen level is in the 80s, you know, and I can hardly feel a pulse here." And I think you have such a determined mind that you don't know that you have limits, because you're so used to not having limits physically as an athlete. So you don't have any idea when you cross the
line, you know.
Yeah, you
gotta
have
go
no
too
idea
far.
until it's too late.
Yeah, that's true.
And I remember you one time your bones become very brittle, and you sprained your leg
All the
with
time.
your ankle. And I remember you
Just walking. Sprung my ankle walking.
That's just how delicate your body was.
Yes, it was. I thought I was breaking up one time. I said, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna break all up just by walking."
And then I remember you were told you needed to have a cane or a walker.
Yeah,
And
I got one.
But she didn't use it. You went
No, I
to the
didn't.
library, and you were on the boot, walking around without any cane or assistance, saying, "I got to finish my assignment."
Right, that's what I said.
Oh,
Those are the
my
words I
gosh.
said.
I mean, I said, what am I going to do with my mother?
Oh,
And then
boy.
I remember you told me another time you came out of class, you coming down the steps, and
Oh yes, let me tell you about that incident. The books were always too heavy, and this is why I had assistance from security. When I would arrive on the campus, get out of my car, I call security to pick me up to take me to my class. But this particular day, I decided to carry these books in both hands now instead of holding on to the rail. And I was going down the steps, and I got to the third step, and down I went on the sidewalk. And the kids began to run toward me, and security was there, and my feet were bleeding because I had sandals on. Normally I don't wear sandals, but I did that day. And my feet were bloody. And so they said, we called 911. I said, "No, don't do that." I said, "You messing with me now." I said, "If you do that, you're going to make me awfully angry." I said, "Because I got to go to class in 10 minutes. Miss Fire, you need to go to the hospital." I said, "No, I do not. You get this blood off my feet and let me go." That's what I said. And then I made a joke out of it because everybody was looking so serious. I looked around, I guess it was about 7 to 10 security guards there. And they looking so sad and everything. I said, let me tell you why I fell. They said, why did you fall, Miss Vi? How did you fall? I said, I had the books in my hand, and I'm going down the steps. I said, and I fell and bust my butt. That's what I did. I said, you want to know why? No, why, Miss Vi? I said, because I was strutting, and you checked me out in my tan jacket, my green blouse, and my tan pants, and my brand new green shoes to match with my top. I said, I must have been showing out or something. That's why I fell and bust my butt. And everybody started laughing. I laughed harder than they did. So anytime something happened to me, I never pitied myself. I always make a joke out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I am.
Yes.
You know, I could have said, woe is me, you know.
Yeah.
But why do that? You smile, the whole world smiles with you. But when you cry, most of the time you cry alone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So who wants to cry? I know I don't. who always to do it so freely, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can't do any better, or maybe they have a reason why they cry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I always say try to have an upbeat personality. Mm-hmm. Try to see things a lot more positively. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, hope is on its way. Mm-hmm. That's where I see things. That's the way I see it. I'm looking for something greater, something better. Mm-hmm. And I know I shall have it. Mm-hmm. And I know I should get there. Mm-hmm. To that better something, that wholesome, whatever, is waiting for me, specifically for me.
Blessing with your name on it.
That's right. Vivian. Yeah. Thank you so much for everything.
Mommy. I love you so much. I'm just so glad that this graduation has happened for you and your accomplishments. Because I was really nervous. I was really scared. Every semester you going in out of the hospital 2 or 3 times.
I know. Oh, bro.
And this woman.
You don't see my arm. It's still bruised up from the last time I went.
4 months later, she still has the same pain in her arms from the IVs.
Oh yeah, still swollen.
Because of
just as purple.
Her veins are so tiny. And I remember being in the house with you. I know you. I feel better than anyone because I observe what's going on with you. I know when you're stressed and you don't know you're stressed. You begin to start itching. And I say, Mom, stop school, stop, take a break. But you know, I gotta finish. So you keep doing that. And so I can tell when you start having some issues. But even when I was in the house with you all day, I remember you were having chest pains, didn't mention it. And then 12 hours later, at midnight, you say you've had chest pain where you felt like your rib was about to break. And I said, Mom, that's a serious thing. Let's get in that car and go to the hospital.
Christmas Day, I'm in the hospital.
Christmas Day. And so.
Then New Year's Day, I was back in there again.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm spending a whole week.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I remember when your hemoglobin went to 7. I think it was then that you began to lose recall because there wasn't enough blood being supplied to your brain. So it was after that I remember you going back to class and not really being able to understand what was going on. Right. Because that supply hadn't been coming there, so your recall was just not there.
Right.
You know?
That's true. That's why I had so much help.
And
then I give them a thank you card.
Everybody knows your thank you.
Everybody knows me by my thank you cards. In IT, I gave out so many thank you cards. They just stapled them on the wall. And they had been there 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I went there, the color of the cars was turning color brown and stuff. I said, when are you all going to take these cars down? I said, they changing colors. So finally they took them down. My last year in college. And I said, now it looks like a real wall, you know.
I saw this whiteboard that you wrote something on, and they kept it up for 2 years, I think, in the library.
Oh, this is the technical department.
Yes.
Yeah, TJ's,
Yes.
writing consultant department.
Uh-huh.
They had lots of people to write stuff on the board 2.5 years ago, and they erased everybody's information after about a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
That my signature up there and my little saying that I wrote, they kept it up there 2.5 years. The board was clean, and my messages was still up there. So I asked myself, "You all didn't finish cleaning the board?" I said, "Oh, we finished cleaning the board."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "But I still see something up there." Mm-hmm. She said, "Don't worry about that." It was what I had written on the board, and I can appreciate that. I thought that was really cute. I said, that person really thinks a lot of me to do something like that. And when I went to the rodeo, you know I go to the rodeo every year.
Yes.
I get up on this wooden bull, and I'm acting just like a little rodeo thing. And do you know I gave that picture to TJ's in the consultant department, and that picture stayed there. The picture been there, what, 2 or 3 years? 3 years?
Wow. That's
all that long time. I looked and I said, when you going to move that picture? She says, not ever. I'm going like, oh, God.
You have an impact everywhere you go. It seems, people just are drawn to you like a magnet, and...
I wonder why.
that is very interesting.
I don't have the pretty hair, thick hair to show anymore, the pretty white hair.
I think it's an inner thing. It's an anointing. It's a gift from God, and it's something that, you need to share with everyone. And everybody's blessed. When you walk in the room and people are angry, I see the countenance on their face changes just by your smile, or, I've been with you, we've gone to restaurants, and you smiled, or your table manners or something, somebody you didn't even know, and they just
pay for my meal.
Pay for the meal. And it happens. She calls me like at least once or twice a week and tells me something like that happens. And you can't ignore the fact that that's some kind of God-given gift. You can't ignore that. I mean, you're very humble about it, and you're saying you don't know why, and I'm looking and thinking, Mom, this is an amazing gift from God. And I've noticed a lot.
I'm thankful. I am. But like I said, I always try to stay humble. I don't ever have my mind going in a way that I think I'm better than anyone, or I'm so special, anything like that. I don't think like that. I would never think like that. I'm just being thankful and grateful to be alive, and I want to know my purpose in life while I'm here, to be a blessing to someone, even if it's just for one person. And the thousands of people that I've come in contact with, if it's just one person that gleaned some good from my life while I live here.
Well, trust me, it's way more than one person, because I've talked to many on the campus and everywhere around the city. So it's more than one person, that's for sure. I wanted to ask you one more thing I remember happening to you in school, and that was hearing.
Oh boy.
How did you go 7 years, I found out, and you were unable to hear what the teacher and the students were saying around you?
Now that's funny too, because but I survived 7 years going to Rollins.
Reading lips.
Lip reading. I did it so much, I said, I'm going to take a sign language class. And I did. And I did pretty good too. Because, Angie, you told me about a girl in your neighborhood was deaf.
Yes, I remember. She never spoke to anyone.
Never spoke to anyone.
Never.
And I tell you, I said, now I know sign language. I said, your homegirl and I, we're going to talk, So I got out of the car. I said, stop the car. And you stopped the car, Angie, and I got out, and she came out. I said, and I did my little sign language thing, telling her, hello, my name is Vivian. And she said, well, hello, my name is so-and-so. I said, how are you today? It's a beautiful day. And she said, yes, it is, And I was so happy that I was able to do that. and Angie told me, oh, she never speaks to anyone.
You have that attraction. People that don't even talk to anybody.
We had a conversation going, dude, with the fingers, with the hands.
That is amazing.
I said, well, I did learn something out of that class.
Yes, that is amazing. You definitely went through your storm of trauma. But I remember this Monte Carlo movie we always watch together.
Yeah.
And Count Tomorrow says, life is a storm, my friend. You will bask in the sun in one moment and be scattered on the rocks the next.
But it's what you do
in that storm that makes
you
who you
a
are.
woman.
That's a good message.
It's what I do in that storm that makes me a woman.
And that's what you've done.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Yes.